That's what a young owner or whoever older owner would like to build a team instead of having a bunch of contracts he can't move.
Well, it's almost if New Orleans does not have the worst record, if they do not get the number 1 pick, if they don't even get a good pick in the draft this upcoming year, I'm just going to tell you they need to almost contract that damn city. I mean,
a lot of those teams need to just be moved. There's a lot of teams, not just the Hornets, but the NBA cannot have them for another year.
Exactly.
This cannot become the Phoenix Coyotes. This can't become the Montreal Expos. Because remember, Montreal Expos and
Florida
the Coyotes, Florida Marlins, they come out with stars every 2-3 years, and then they end up on another team because they couldn't pay them.
Exactly. Like, okay, let's switch to the Eastern Conference. Like, I want you to go ahead and go first. And give me your 8 teams in the Eastern Conference.
I firmly believe Miami's going to have the best record in the East. They might lose 5 games. They might go 60-6. They might have some ridiculous record. I got the Bulls, the Knicks, Boston. I'll take Philadelphia, Atlanta. That's 6. Indiana 7. Indiana might even be in the top 4. And really, that
Did you just say Indiana cannot be in the top 4?
Well, you know who your top 3 teams are.
Well, Indiana can't be top 4.
But you know who your top 3 Jersey, I really believe Jersey's going to end up with the 8th seed. Jersey will end up with the 8th seed. Maybe Washington, but I believe Jersey has more potential. Even though if Milwaukee and Andrew Bogut can stay healthy, they might get the 8th seed. The 8th seed is going to end up being a team with under 500 record. Really doesn't matter. It'll get eliminated in the first round. The reason why I say Indiana can end up with a top 4 seed, right now they're better than Atlanta. They're better than Philadelphia. And they're probably better than New Jersey. What I will say, the one team that you automatically pick to be in the top 4 is Boston. Boston probably is going to end up with the 7th or 8th seed because they're going to be resting these old players throughout the year. Boston's not worried about making the playoffs. Boston's worried about being healthy and being energized for the playoffs because that's the one team that can go to anybody's building and beat you on the road.
I agree, but it comes a factor. I disagree because that Jeff Green trade. Jeff Green is out for the season. That was a huge loss for Boston.
It was a huge loss. They got Brandon Bass, but
Brandon Bass. I mean, he's just like, wow. Who cares?
I was talking top 4 seeds. I wasn't talking about NBA
but I'm just
contenders.
saying. But if you remember the top 4 seeds, though, is there 3 divisions or 4 divisions in the NBA?
It's 3.
It is 3.
The Atlantic, the Central, and the Pacific.
There's no Southeast?
No. I was just looking at it right now.
Okay. No, I'm trying to figure out who would the 4 seeds you had because Chicago.
Yeah, it's the Atlantic, the Central, and the Southeast. It's not the Pacific. It's the Southeast and the East, the Pacific and the West.
Okay. So let's go back now. Okay, I do agree then. I heard arguments this year. Someone stupid said. I mean, they may not be stupid at the end of the year. They said the Pacers will have a better record than the Bulls in the regular season.
No.
Okay,
The Pacers they're a very talented team, but the Pacers don't have any elite players on their team. They do have Roy Hibbert, who's a nice center. They have Danny Granger. They picked up a good young guard.
I can't remember the guard's name off bat. I know
but they have a nice team. They can be top 4. They'll probably be between, but 4 through 8 in the East really is nothing much. Talking about 3 real teams: the Knicks, the Bulls, the Heat. Everybody's going to be trying to go for number 1. If Boston ends up number 4 or 5, I'll promise you Miami was going to want to be 2 or 3 because they're not going to want to see Boston in the second round. They're just not.
You can say that, but hey, what did they beat Boston last year, right?
Yeah. They sure did. They beat Boston. They did beat Boston, but that was a beat up Boston team too. You're talking. It's just the season.
It's the same older Boston team. Like remember,
I know it's just such a short season and such a weird season. I can see Miami winning 60, 65. They might go 62-4, 55-10, some crazy record, and then just find a way to lose.
That's what I'm saying. Like
because their 2 biggest weaknesses are the 2 positions you need to have somebody solidified. You either have to have a real strong center or a real strong defensive power forward center. They don't. Chris Bosh is a very good player, but Chris Bosh is not going to give me 15 rebounds when I need it.
I mean, it doesn't matter, though, because you got to look. You get defensive, though. Now
they're the best defensive team.
You just added Shane Battier. Like, talk about Miami and Chicago trying to one up each other. Miami gets Shane Battier,
And the Bulls get ripped.
The Bulls get ripped. I mean, look at these two teams.
It's in and out. The big thing about Miami is going to be it's not that they're not the most talented team. It's coaching.
No, I think they're fine because, like, I'll say this. My pick right now, I'm just going to say it, put it out there. You know, I'm a loyal Bulls fan. Miami is going back to the finals.
I don't see it that easily. I see Miami. Miami should.
I didn't say it's easy. I'm saying
Miami should. I'm just saying it's one of those. It's short season. I have a feeling somebody that nobody thought of is going to end up winning the title.
Never.
Might not even be the Bulls.
Never.
It's just this looks weird.
Never. I'm telling you right now, never. Like if you want to go to my top 8 teams, I mean, obviously, Miami's number 1.
Power ranking right now?
Just my top 8 teams. I'm going to do power ranking. Miami's number 1 in the East. Chicago's number 2. I mean, I guess you in a paper you want to put New York at number 3. I haven't seen them yet play.
But New York is specifically building themselves.
They're building themselves to beat the Heat.
Just to beat the Heat.
If
you look at that team is just building themselves. They are exactly what the Heat does not want to see. If Baron Davis is 70% of what Baron Davis once was, he's better than Mario Chalmers and whoever else Miami has on the bench. And Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler, we've seen both of these guys in Chicago. One that can score, one that plays defense. Problem is, one has, no pun intended, a real big heart. The other one plays with no heart.
Exactly. I mean, so here, like, okay, so actually, you know what? I would like to say, what team was I'm trying to put as number 3? What team were we just talking about?
Boston, Indiana.
No. It wasn't
Jersey.
It wasn't. No. I had
Orlando.
I had Miami, Chicago. I was trying to put New York at number 3. I'm gonna say it's a tie between New York and Orlando. I don't know who's gonna.
If Orlando keeps Dwight, though, it's all if Orlando keeps Dwight.
Exactly.
That's just that's the big bubble. You know what the weirdest thing about that is? If Orlando keeps Dwight Howard can win you a series by himself against Derrick Rose.
No, he can't.
Against LeBron James.
No, he can't.
He has that talent in him.
He has capability, but he won't.
I just said he's capable. I didn't say he was going to do it. Did I ever say he was going to do it? I just said he was capable.
He's capable, but he's not. Because he won't do it, though.
I read Shaq's book. Shaq said it himself. He said if Dwight Howard doesn't win 4 NBA championships, he should not go to the Hall of Fame because he is the only big man that can truly dominate the league how big men should dominate the league.
That's why, like, I want to put a sleeper team out in the East this year. Just if it so happens, you know, because there's wackiness with this whole Dwight Howard, we don't know. If Dwight Howard goes to the Nets.
Jersey's nice.
You're
talking about real nice. They got Darren Williams.
Yeah.
And they have Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Darren Williams before last year was considered even better than Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Is like,
and you put them together, in Brooklyn,
exactly.
That's nasty.
And they still have a decent, even though I can't think off a bat, the shooting guards, they still have a nice young core.
They have a nice young core. They're a nice team. The thing is, will Dwight sign, or is Dwight bent on being in LA? See, Dwight Howard looks like he's bent on being in LA, and if that's the thing.
Then he's
gonna go regardless.
That's where we're just gonna be looking at. Okay, it's just
you're looking at four, 5, 6 power teams.
Four teams in
the East.
Because the
Clippers are gonna be strong.
You know,
I don't know what, but overall in the NBA, you're looking between 4 and 8 power teams.
I think there's more than that. Actually, I really do. Because
legit contenders.
Yes,
you have 8 legit contenders to the title.
More.
Who you got?
I'm telling you, with the East this year, I mean...
No, I'm talking about legit, and now I'm not talking about winning a playoff round.
I'm talking about legit.
Grabbing the Larry O'Brien trophy,
we just
said
it's a 66-game season. Something wacky is going to happen this year. You don't know.
Yeah.
Legit contenders, if you want to spin the East, like, honestly, you still have Miami, Chicago, Boston, New York. Those are 4 legit contenders alone in the East. The West is so good this year. Legit contenders, if the Clippers stay healthy, if they can pull this thing off, that Clippers squad is a dangerous squad.
They have the Clippers squad on paper.
Yeah.
When you look at them on paper, they have more talent. I'm not saying their talent is as good as Miami's talent, but you have Chris Paul, you have Chauncey Billups, you have Eric Bledsoe, Caron Butler, Mo Williams.
Honestly, I think if the Clippers made that move with Chris Paul, in my eyes, they're not thinking about L.A., okay, they're thinking about Oklahoma City.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? They're thinking about Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City probably made the biggest mistake. They should have grabbed Russell Westbrook and told the Hornets, look, you take Russell Westbrook, who wants to be a star, give me Chris Paul.
It wasn't going to happen. They wouldn't want just Russell. That wasn't going to happen.
You have to make the attempt.
You have to make the attempt, but I'm just saying, I don't think the NBA would have allowed that. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm going to say is you would have had a guy that's looking to – Russell Westbrook believes. I'm not saying he is, but he believes he's on the same course with Derrick Rose, that he's an elite point guard, that he can get 25 a night, that he can dominate a team, that he can be the leader of a team. It's hard for him to be – I'm not trying to sound derogatory, but the second guy on Oklahoma City, because everybody knows that's Kevin Durant's team.
Exactly. I mean,
and Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony. One's going to be the scoring champion. The other one's probably going to be the MVP because those two guys are coming hard.
And let's put the third team. Obviously, I mean, even though they're old, you still got to put the Lakers up there.
Yeah, the Lakers. As long as they got 2-4, 24, like I like to call them in Spanish.
Yeah. I mean,
Lakers going to be hard.
Number 4 team, even though they lost in the first round, you still got to put the team who had the best record last year in the season. You see how it's funny how no one's really talking about the Spurs right now. That's actually could be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll discuss that later on. You know,
see, to me, the Spurs look like a team that they're not going to play that hard during the regular season. They're going to sit there and be the 5th, 6th, maybe 7th seed coming out the West.
They have to.
And when the playoffs come out, then they expended so much energy during the regular season last year that they were burnt. They still have Ginobili. They have Parker. And if Duncan can give you 30 minutes, you have Duncan.
I mean, you got to remember, though, the whole matchup when the Spurs played Memphis.
It was just a bad matchup.
No. I know it was a bad matchup, but you had a Memphis team who purposely wanted to be that 8th seed because they knew they matched up with the Spurs.
Athletically, they were just too athletic.
Yeah. I mean,
they were just too athletic.
That's another team. Like, okay, if I want to put a 5th possible contender, if Memphis can get back to what they did last year, now you add a Rudy Gay.
But it's Rudy Gay. We don't know what he's going to be after that injury.
But they impressed me, though, last year with the whole run, with that whole Dallas series. That was a great series
Zach Randolph, to me, is a very interesting player this year because Zach Randolph played so hard for a contract. Because it was a contract year. Is he going to play at that level this year? Because if Zach Randolph plays at that level this year, you're looking at a completely different team with Rudy Gay and Zach. You're looking at a team that can easily be the best team in the West.
I agree. I mean, and I'm going.
And Mike Conley's learned how to play point guard.
Exactly. My couple of sleepers. I mean, I'm not saying they're okay. I guess I got to agree with you. It is 8. I really see 8 teams. Maybe no. Actually, I saw 9 teams. I saw 9 teams possible as playoff contenders. My sleepers who may possibly can do some damage, who actually intrigue me, is Denver in Minnesota and Golden State. You got those 3
I love
sleepers.
Golden State because Golden State has 2 guys that can flat out just fill it up. You have to go 7 games against Curry and against Ellis.
And they still got David Lee still,
They
right?
got David Lee. David Lee's healthy this year. But they picked somebody else up, too. They picked somebody else.
DeAndre Jordan?
No, DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, no, the Clippers got him back.
The Clippers signed, matched the offer. But that team, they got young forwards that they've been sitting on the bench just playing. It's hard. If a team like the Lakers has to play them in 7 games, they can run LA out.
Oh, exactly.
They can run San Antonio out.
Yeah.
The teams that don't match up well with the Lakers are teams like Oklahoma City that have to grind you because they have 3 or 4 scores.
Oh, Oklahoma City matches.
If you look at the Lakers against Oklahoma City,
City all day.
It's not the best matchup because Oklahoma City would have to spend a lot of energy in the second round because you have to go against Bynum and Gasol, and then you end up facing a team like Memphis again in the 3rd round, and Memphis or Portland. You don't want to really see the Lakers. I don't really have them as finals contenders, but I have them as Western Conference finals contenders or taking so much out of a team.
But here's my thing, though. Okay, you just said about the whole grinding it thing out. I think that's exactly what the Mavs did last year versus Portland Trailblazers. Remember now, media experts had the Portland Trailblazers beating them. I even had the Portland Trail. I'll admit, I had the Portland Trailblazers beating the Mavs. The Mavs grinded out that series.
It's because the West is just so strong.
That's my thing, man.
It's real heavyweights. I mean, every team there, 1 through 9, really is a heavyweight fight.
It is.
Every